Hi, Jesse Mead here from Coma Precision, and today I'm with Carl Capps, President of our Integration Division, and we're discussing an important topic that I get questions on all the time, and that is, Jesse, I love the D'Andrea U-Axis, and I want to put one of these on my machine, but how does this install to my machine? How does that process work? How can you do that? And so we brought Carl in to walk you through what that process looks like from our side, and how we can install this technology onto your existing machine tool or a future machine tool procurement. So without further ado, Carl, on a TA Center tool changeable type head, can you walk us through what a typical installation process looks like and how it's going to look on the customer's machine?
Absolutely, Jesse. Thanks for having me. Coma Integration installs a couple hundred installations a year on rotary tables. So setting up the U-Axis head is very similar to setting up a rotary table as far as all the signals and the operation standpoint. The only difference is, of course, is the gear ratios and also the cable routing and where you put it in the machine. On this particular installation, we did a temporary installation to show you what a TA Center head to look at on your machine. So we mounted up at the spindle for like an anti-rotation, but there's also a driver up inside this head. And on this particular machine, it's driven by a Fanuc servo motor. We install all of our axis as a detachable axis in case you as a customer needs to take it off at any given time for clearance purposes, for special parts, or if you just want to not run the head for a while. You could put it back in the tool changer, let it sit, but actually remove it from the machine if need be. So the way we did this one, this is shown on a C-frame vertical. We ran all the cables up into the spindle housing cover, and we ran it up through the Z-axis track of this machine and back to the electrical cabinet. So all the cabling for the servo motor will go through, and all the same stuff that all the spindle signals and everything else goes through. So the flow of all the cables and how it gets from point A to point B in the electrical cabinet is very, very non-evasive on the machine. So all we have to do is basically come out, set this up as a standard axis, put our specialized parameters in for the gear ratios, and voila, you have a working, functional, linear axis on your machine.
Yeah, I know a couple of key things there that customers like about the installation is when you put that Amphenol connector up there onto the spindle nose, that allows us to quickly remove the U-drive body off of the spindle if we need to. So some customers may say, hey, I really need to get close to the part, or I'm worried about this obstruction, and the ability to quickly remove that off of the spindle allows you to use the full functionality of your machine as it is normally, but also to be able to add the U-Axis head as well. Another keynote would be when we come in and do the installation for you, we provide air through the coupler adapter here. And what that does is that constant air pressure keeps chips, coolant, and swarf out of that connector, keeping it clean and ensuring you have good contact between the head and your connector as well. Another keynote would be there's a single slot tang inside of the U-drive body here. And as that servo motor moves or turns, it's turning the tang inside of the U-drive body, which is essentially scrolling the U-drive axis in and out. Allows you to be infinitely programmable, to program complex geometry, and makes it for a very easy use of the head. So Carl, talk to me a little bit about does the U-Axis show up like every other axis on the machine? What's going on in the back of my machine? What does that look like for us as well?
So the U-Axis will show up just like any other programmable axis on your machine. On this particular machine, we have a rotary axis already in there with a trunnion. We also have the U-Axis as a fifth axis on the machine. So it'll program just like it would any other axis. So if you want to kind of contour the standard GNM code programming on this Fanuc control, G2, G3 is the same principle as any XY programming or any other axis you would have on the machine tool.
Yeah, so when you come in and install this, do you need to put then a drive in the back or an amp in the back of the machine tool like you would a rotary table?
That's a good question. Yes, we have all wiring and all the components just like we would any rotary axis or any other linear axis added to the machine. We are adding a full functional, full contouring axis to the machine.
Very cool. So, Carl, if I have an existing machine on my floor that I want to add a U-axis to, do I have to order this with a new machine and have it retrofitted to my new machine? Or if I had a standard C-frame vertical like we have here on my floor, could I retrofit one of these U-axis heads to my existing mill to add that functionality?
Good question. We could do it on new machines, existing machines, different vintages of the control. All we have to do is just a layout of how we have to mount the adapter plate for the spindle, and then do a wiring diagram of how we're going to run it to connect to the machine tool.
Yeah. And one of the things that I've seen from Coma Precision and also our network as well is we really have a great network of distribution out there. We generally work with your local machine tool dealer to help integrate these systems to your machine. So if you're thinking about a U-axis, feel free to contact us directly at info@comaprecision.com, but also feel free to reach out to your distributor as well, as we're going to work closely with them to integrate this into your machine tool and give it that factory look and performance that you're looking for in high quality accessories like a D'Andrea U-axis head. Carl, thanks so much for taking the time to join us to talk to us more about how we can install one of these on an existing or a future machine. And thank you guys for tuning in to our educational video today, and we look forward to seeing you on future videos as well. Thank you.